This story is called Tree of Cranes. Written and illustrated by Alan Say. When I was not yet old enough to even wear long pants, when I was much younger, Mama worried that I might drown in the neighbor's pond. She was always worried about that. Time and again, she warned me not to play there. But I never listened because that pond was filled with carp of bright colors. The last time I went there was a gray winter day. It was so cold that even the fish in the pond couldn't even move around. They were hidden underneath the rocks. I poked and prodded for them to move out, trying to get them to move, and oh no, I caught a bad chill. I got my mittens wet. Mama would be upset with me, I knew. She would know right away how I got my mittens wet. But then maybe she might be happy just to see me. "Mama, I'm home," I called. There was no answer. She always met me at the porch, always. I called again, "Mama." And finally she answered, sounding far away. I waited, but she didn't come out to see me. She must be sick, I thought. So I went inside. Mama was in the living room, folding origami paper. She just nodded, barely looking at me. But I saw there were 2 slices of my favorite tea cake waiting just for me. That made me feel so much better. "Why are you making cranes?" I asked. "Because I want to make a big wish," she said without looking up. "You're going to fold 1,000 cranes to make your wish come true? Maybe even 2,000. She reached out and touched my face with her cool hand. "Why, you're hot all over." Mama frowned and gave me a silent stare. I hung my head and said nothing. She knew. Anytime Mama thought I had even a cold, it was time for a hot bath. 10 whole minutes and not 1 second less, she told me. She was upset. She didn't even come to rinse my back like she normally does. I just sat in the tub by myself. Her slippers went shuffling all the way down the hallway, then the door closed shut. She wasn't coming back to keep me company. I'd better say sorry, I thought to myself. But before I could even apologize, Mama came over and put me in my night clothes. "I don't want to go to bed. You need to stay nice and warm. All afternoon." "Yes, all afternoon. I'll go and make you a hot lunch." Oh, I knew what that meant. Rice gruel. Only sick people ate rice gruel. "Will you read me any stories?" "Nope," she said sternly. And that's exactly what I had, rice gruel, with a sour plum and yellow radishes. Eating all alone and drinking hot tea in Papa's big cup. I then laid down, facing the door, and hoped Mama would come back. Maybe she would come back with the apple and peel the skin like a red ribbon and read me a story. But the door never opened. After a long while, I heard a noise coming from the garden. Maybe the old gardener had come to clip our trees again? I got up and opened the window. It was snowing outside, and Mama was digging around my small tree. "What are you doing?" I shouted. Mama stopped and stared. "Close that window this moment and go straight to bed." Quickly, I closed the window and lay down again. She's really angry now, I thought. But why was she gardening in the snow? What was she doing with my tree? I was nearly asleep when she came back in. She was carrying a tree in a blue pot. It was the same pine Mama and Papa planted when I was born, so that I would live a long life like the tree. "You'll see," she said, setting the pot down. "Do you know what today is? 7 days before the New Year's Day, right, Mom?" "That's right," she said and smiled. Finally, Mama sat down. "I've been acting strangely all day," she said. I started to reply, but she shushed me. "If you promise to stay in bed, I will tell you why." "I promise," I said. "I was born and lived far away in another country long before I came here and met your father." "Where?" "A warm place called California," she whispered. I nodded. "Today is a very special day in that warm place. If you happen to be there now, you'd see trees like this one everywhere, all decorated with winking lights and small globes of silver and gold." Mama went to go fetch the cranes that she was making earlier with needle and thread and began stringing them. She strung the whole thread around the tree with all the cranes. "And under each tree," she said, "there are boxes of presents to give to friends and loved ones. It's really a joyous time and cheery and merry." I said, "I want a samurai kite." I knew exactly what I wanted. "Remember, child, you give and receive. It is truly a day of love and peace. Strangers smile at one another. We need more days like this." She put the last crane on the tree. She went to the kitchen to fetch some matches. "Are you going to burn my tree?" I asked. "Don't be silly. This is for the candles." "Can I light them? May I?" "All right, do it quickly then." Mama let me strike the matches. And when all the candles were lit, it was so beautiful it glistened. Mama started to fall silent. She was remembering and seeing another tree in a faraway place where she had been small like me. There couldn't be a more beautiful tree than mine, I thought, not even in the place where Mama was born. "What present would you like?" I asked. "Only peace and quiet," Mama said. "I mean something from me." "Oh, something very, very special. Like a promise." I said I would stay in bed. Another promise then. All right, I'll give you another promise. Give your word, she said. You'll never go to the pond again. I promised. I was fast asleep when Papa came home. The next morning, I jumped out of bed, and what scared me was the face of a fierce warrior staring right at me. But I saw the candles and the tree behind it and remembered, oh, this was the gift that I told Mama I wanted. It was the kite. She remembered what I had wanted. Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Papa. I ran outside with my present, ready to fly my kite. To my disappointment, everything was covered in snow. There'll be another day, Mama said. A fine, windy day with no snow. I put my kite away. Papa came. Plenty of snow to make a snowman. Let's make one together. And just like that snowman we made, many years have melted away now. But I will always remember that day of peace and quiet. It was my first Christmas.